There's a dirty little secret about World War II that most history books skip. Soldiers didn't always have showers, soap, or toothpaste, yet somehow they managed to keep their teeth from rotting and their bodies from turning into a full-blown biohazard. It wasn't magic. It was grit, creativity, and hacks born on the front lines. Today, we're diving deep into how men in the trenches stayed surprisingly clean, using nothing but dirt, salt, and sheer determination. When you think of hygiene, you probably picture a bar of soap or a tube of toothpaste. Back then, those luxuries were rare. Supply chains were stretched, and carrying more than what was essential could mean the difference between life and death. Soldiers had to improvise, and improvise they did. Some methods were grim, others ingenious, but all were battle-tested under the harshest conditions imaginable. Soldiers quickly learned that clean teeth could save lives. Cavities weren't just a dental issue. They could lead to infections that put a soldier out of commission. With toothpaste often nowhere to be found, soldiers turned to primitive yet effective alternatives. Salt became a frontline hero. Soldiers would dip a clean rag or a finger into salt and scrub their teeth. The abrasive action helped remove food particles, while the natural antibacterial properties of salt killed off germs. Dirt, surprisingly, played a role too. Sounds gross, right? But certain types of fine, clean dirt could act as a natural abrasive. It wasn't about swallowing it, just using it to scrub teeth like an ancient exfoliant. The key was the methodical rubbing combined with salt when available. Soldiers got creative, using fingers, sticks, or the corner of a cloth to reach every surface. Soap, the hallmark of hygiene, was, really rare on the front lines. Soldiers often had to go days, sometimes even weeks, without a proper wash. The alternative? Well, it was dirt. Not just any dirt. The soldiers knew that sandy or gritty soil worked best. When rubbed into the skin, it would lift oils, sweat, and grime away. They learned to combine this with salt when they could scavenge it. The salt helped disinfect and, prevent infections from small cuts or abrasions acquired in the trenches or jungle. Bathing wasn't about comfort. It was about survival. Skin infections, lice, and fungal diseases could decimate a unit faster than enemy fire. Soldiers became masters of dry cleaning their own bodies. A quick scrub with dirt, a dash of salt, and careful brushing of teeth could keep them functional for days, under conditions that would have sent civilians, running for soap. When water was available, soldiers didn't waste it. A shallow stream or rain puddle became a mobile shower. They'd combine the natural flow of water with their makeshift dirt and salt scrubs, essentially creating a kind of battlefield spa. These impromptu hygiene routines were also social. Soldiers often shared tips and improvised tools, creating small survival-based rituals that, really strengthened camaraderie. The genius of these hacks wasn't just in the materials. They were really about efficiency and making the most of what little was at hand. Salt and dirt weren't just stopgaps. They were actually science-backed solutions. Salt's antibacterial properties and dirt's abrasive quality kept bodies and teeth functional in some pretty extreme conditions. These frontline techniques teach us a bigger lesson. Necessity fuels innovation. When modern preppers or survival enthusiasts look at historical tactics, it's not about nostalgia. It's about timeless lessons. Dirt and salt weren't glamorous, but they were practical. Soldiers didn't need fancy soaps or toothpaste. They needed results. And in the end, they delivered, keeping themselves combat-ready when conventional supplies failed. In a world obsessed with commercial hygiene products, the frontline wisdom of World War II soldiers feels almost radical. It reminds us that basic principles, cleaning, disinfecting, and scrubbing, matter more than brand names or fancy ingredients. The ingenuity of these men teaches modern viewers resilience, creativity, and the value of using whatever's at hand to solve critical problems. So next time you reach for your toothpaste or a bar of soap, remember that somewhere in the mud of a European battlefield, a soldier was scrubbing his teeth with salt and dirt, keeping disease at bay and staying ready to fight another day. Their survival wasn't about comfort. It was about necessity, discipline, and knowing that a clean body could save a life when everything else was chaos. If this peek into World War II's unorthodox survival hacks blew your mind, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button, share this video, and drop a comment about which hack you'd actually try in real life. Wisdom from the front lines isn't just history, it's practical, battle-tested survival knowledge that still works today.